No doubt, I'm early. So if you're here and you're up and you just got a notification that I'm going live, just join me. Grab your foam roller. I've got a little bit of things. I've got a few things I want to get done before we start the mobility. So here in the US, it's daylight savings time, which makes no sense to me because, quite frankly, I like the daylight in the morning. So that's just the jam. Okay, so let's grab your foam roller. This is called a stick. A stick is a nice tool to help with tissue care. So I came early because tissue care is the #1 thing that we're gonna do pretty much every single day and in moments throughout your day. Tissue care and breath work can be part of everything you do. Hi, come here, Jackson. Come here. You're just gonna stand there. Okay, as usual, let's start with the lower leg. I've had a few inquiries, like quite a few actually, with people with lower leg issues. And as we go into the early part of the summer, and a time when we start to get more and more active, we're putting in more and more mileage, more and more yardage, the demands on the body go up. And as that happens, typically the first thing you're going to experience is tissue vulnerability. And so when you become dehydrated or your nutrition gets a little bit off or your sleep is a little bit impacted, like with daylight savings time, your tissue will then become vulnerable, and you have to acknowledge that and do something active in order to offset all of those challenges for your tissue and for your health and for your body. So the first thing we're going to do is maybe that's not Chew Toy, is come early to Mobility Monday and spend a little bit of extra time on the foam roller. It doesn't mean that every Monday I'm going to be here at 6:40 to do foam rolling, but it means that you could be up at 6:40 in your, or wherever, what time it is where you are, and you could be doing a little bit of foam rolling before you predictably know I'm coming at 6:45 Colorado time, and that's now daylight savings time. So let's get all over that lower leg. We're right below the calf muscle, and within there is a lot going on. We've got soleus, we've got posterior tib. We've got a yoga block, we've got a foam roller, and we've got a ball. I'm going to use the ball just because it's got some smaller little edges on it, and we're going to just create a little bit of heat. If you have a gua sha or a Graston tool, that would also work. So we're just rubbing and creating friction in the skin all throughout the lower leg, all around that Achilles tendon, all around the ankle bone. The front part of the ankle is called the retinaculum. That is a good place to add some heat. Everything in the lower leg, because we want gliding and sliding. Okay, so let's hit the other side. We'll use the ball. I know that Jackson would love me to give him the ball right now, but I'm not going to. We just got up this morning. So daylight savings time means that my body is actually telling me it's 5:45, not 6:45. Yeah. And so what I did this morning was I got up right on schedule. I got up at 4:45 like I usually do. And then I had my coffee like I usually do. And then I went for a run. And that is my body's signal. It's time to wake up. And it wasn't a hard run. It was just a morning run. All right, we're going to take that ball. You can also take your foam roller, and we're going directly into the belly of the calf muscle. Welcome if you're just showing up. I was just talking about having you guys show up early on your own. I won't always show up at 6:40, but the goal on the Monday is to set the tone for the rest of the week. And these sessions I know can be used Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So every single morning, if you're just amping up your training, or if you're not quite feeling as good as you usually feel, it's really a good idea to start with some tissue care. All right, let's take that foam roller. So if you're just joining at 6:45, approx, yep. Let's get onto that lateral aspect of the hip. Put a little bit of body pressure on there, using the body weight, and just kind of check in on the glutes. I actually, what did I do yesterday? Oh, I woke up and I had horrible, horrible scores. So I took yesterday a little bit easier than I was going to because I had kind of a bigger Saturday for me. So comfortable yesterday, taking an easier day and hoping to have a better week, even a better week. We had a good week last week. This week, hoping to have a better week. Let's get on to the other side glute. So we've warmed up the lower leg below the calf muscle. We've spent just a moment or two, like 20, 30 seconds on the calf muscle. And then we're going through to the glutes. All right. Today, adductors. We're going to take that foam roller and we're laying on the ground and we're taking the right knee up. Ooh. Right knee as high as the hip. And we're just going into some internal rotation. So TV time with the upper body. And we're just going to lift the foot. Hi, Jackson. I kind of freaked him out today with the run in the dark because for him, he's just kind of doing what he usually does too. Good. All right, so working on the glide and slide of the adductor group. Let's go the other side. So starting face down, taking the right knee up as high as the right hip, upper body a little bit lower into TV time up here in the upper body. We've got the thirds of the femur, the big bone in the upper leg, and we've got it down at the first third, down by the knee. And we're just going into hip internal rotation. And good. That feels good to me. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this foam roller. We're going to put it right on the pubic symphysis. So right on the pubic bone, guys. And we're just gliding to make sure that the tissue that lays on top of the pubic bone is gliding. And if it's a little sticky, if you've spent time in aero, or if you've been sitting a lot, that might not feel great. I always check in on that pubic symphysis because I want my pelvis to move. So the pelvis is two pieces, the right ilium, the left ilium. It joins at the pubic symphysis. That has to glide, the tissue, the skin, the osteofascial release is what you just did. So that when we go into this position, the pelvis can start to move right side, left side independently. So this is called lateral half kneeling. 2 hands on the ground, and all we're going to do is just toggle back and forth. 2, 3, 4. We're going to go right to the upper back here. 5. Right here, right leg is out, so right arm is going to reach under, and then up 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And good. Same thing other side. Lateral half kneeling, 2 hands on the ground, and we're just toggling back and forth. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're throwing it right into the upper body. Reach under. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, pelvic position. So we're starting to do mobility around the pelvis. The adductors attached to the pelvis, the abdominal muscles attached down into the pelvis, the pubic symphysis is part of the pelvis. We need it to decouple. So we're just going to lay on the back, and the first thing we're going to do here is pull pubic bone to belly button. So we're switching on lower abdomen and pelvic floor, and then we're letting it go. So we're not moving, but we're definitely going to toggle through the pelvis. So lift and then lower. So when you can fit your hand under your low back, that's lowering your pubic bone. And then when we lift the pubic bone, we activate all the lower abdominal muscles and we flatten the back. So just toggle, that's mobility through the lumbar spine. And it's showing us lumbar control. It's something I like to assess with athletes, and it's really an important thing. All right, so let's just straighten out the left leg and gently pull the right knee into the chest. And that pulls that right ilium into posterior. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is how we seek to unload the hamstrings. So those of you who have a little bit of high hamstring tugging or tendinopathy or a little bit of discomfort there, you want to spend some time in pelvic posterior tilt. So here I can pull it with both knees into big hip flexion and just kind of drop that sacrum. And we're going to go one more time, 5 each side. 1, 2, 2, little popping and cracking, 3, 4, and 5, and 5. Good. All right, feet outside of hip width, and we're just going to hip toggle. When you hip toggle, we want the right knee. When the right knee is towards the midline, we don't want a short knee. So that's short. That's a hip flex knee. We want to have a long right side. And then we toggle to the left. We want to have a long left side. So guys, right here, that knee should be straight out, not in. So right on the midline, hip toggles starting to open up through the belly. Don't take this little details for granted. Hip toggles, hip toggles, hip toggles. They don't have to be fast. Now this time, let's go into our hip toggle, rotating to the left. Lift the left knee, take the right knee back just a little bit. You should feel a little bit of tension and stress through the pelvis. Okay, same thing other side. Left knee straight out. Let's yank that right knee up just a little bit. And yes, when you pull the right knee, you should feel something, maybe a little more tension in the left side. So right there, just hold it nice and easy. Kind of breathe into it. We always say that if you can't breathe into it, you don't own it. You want to own these movements. You want to own these postures. Nice and easy. Grab that left side. And it's amazing the second time you get there, you can start to relax into more length. And this is very much an unloaded position. I love to use our canine friends or animals as an example, like just unloading the body by laying on the ground, having a horizontal spine, unloaded. And then we're going to bring it up into loaded though, and then I have all the stress loads go up just a little bit. Hey buddy. You're a good boy. Yes. Okay, good. All right, so what we like to take that next position is into the 90-90. So half kneeling, 90-90. If you cannot take pressure on your knee, the next step would be to get a pillow and try and get a pillow under your knee, just add a little bit of cushion. And if you can't do that, you can always just stand in a split stance, okay? So you can do this from, I like 90-90, half kneeling 90-90, because it unloads the lower leg, which I find takes on a lot of stress. Okay, so half kneeling 90-90. Knee is straight at midnight. Excuse me, Jackson. Come here. Jackson, come. Thank you. Okay, so when the knee is straight out, that's midnight, and that's where we want to be. So right now, the knee is straight out. We've got the right knee up. Join me with right knee up, okay? So switch it really quick. And from there, we're going to take the right arm directly in front and the left arm directly back. So if you look at me longwise, totally skinny. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try and keep that right on the line. And then come back. Now we're going to do the other way. So we've got the right knee up and we're turning to the left. So the left arm is straight down the line and the right arm is right back from the line. And now we breathe into that. Keep that right knee in and come back, and let's change sides. So we're starting to work through some thoracic spine mobility. All right, left knee up, right knee down. There's no forward and back translation here yet. Okay, so left leg up, left arm out, right arm back. Jackson, leave it. Leave it. And we're just holding that. I can feel that through adductor. I can feel that through SI joint. And we're just breathing into it. Whoa. Okay, switching the other side. So we've got both legs nice and straight. Left knee is up. Right arm is going straight down the midline. See if I can keep this one up. Left arm is back. Left knee pushing towards the midline. Breathe into that. Let's go 3 big breaths. And good. So some of you are going to feel that in your biceps. So if you spend a lot of time running, biceps get short. When biceps get short, you get tight up through the thoracic on the front side of the body. The thoracic spine encompasses 360 degrees through the rib cage. Okay, right leg up again. This time we're going to go double arm relax. So this is, I like to call this double arm relax. Makes perfect sense to me. Your elbows, you should not be able to see them. So right there, your elbows are back. Now you can see them, right? Elbows are back. Now you can see them. Do a couple of those. Good. And good. All right, from right there, we've got the right knee up. We're going to turn to the right. We're going to take that left elbow, touch the right knee, come all the way back. 2, 3, 4, one more, and 5, and good. So we're starting to get this separation of the upper and lower body through the thoracic and through the hips. We tighten it up, we add mobility, we add motion, neurological control. Okay, left knee is up, elbows are back. Let's do 5 little elbow touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then get them out of the way. Get them way back there where you can't see them. Turn to the left, right elbow to left knee, and then come back. 2, 3, 4, can feel that left hip a little bit tight, and 5, and good. All right, let's take it back to the ground, back to where we started. Let's get a foam roller. We're going to go through the entire body. We're going to do that full body foam roller scan. Here's how we like to use the foam roller. Not for an hour, maybe 4 minutes to get through the entire body, okay? Reset the ponytail. Okay, ready? We're going to scan just below the calf muscle. We're doing a little windshield wiper. Not dragging the skin, just moving the skin across. Good. Left side, just below the calf muscle. Right side. Good. Back to the left side. We're going to floss, little nerve floss. Tuck your chin into your chest, and we're going to point and flex through the foot. 6, 7, we're doing 10, 8, 9, 10. Lift the head, shake the ears out a little bit. Get the foam roller, a little bit of pressure right below the calf. Tuck the chin, flex and point. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is definitely not the most intense nerve floss we could be doing, but tucking the head just a little bit will help lengthen the line and the messaging to the lower body. Okay, up under the hips. We'll take the left foot, put it on the right knee, and we're going right up onto that ischial tuberosity and lateral aspect of the hip. Just nice and easy. The ischial tuberosity is your sits bone. That's where your hamstrings attach, that's where that sacrotuberous ligament attaches. Oh, and that's an important little bony structure you should know. Ischial tuberosity. Okay? Good. And now let's go to the other side. Right foot on left knee. And we're just going to work through that same hip. And good. And then let's go right up into the upper back. So now the foam roller is just below the shoulder blades. Double arm relax with the arms. Let the elbows float back. And we're just going to do a couple of nice easy crunches. So we get a nice little stretch there. If you want to skip these little motions, you can. If you want to spend more time back here, no big deal. If it feels good, I kind of want you to go with it. 3, 4, so we add a little upregulation of the nervous system. I'm going to work next. I don't know what you're doing, but if you're going for a run, this is going to feel amazing. Good. And good. All right. Last one. We're going to go back into the half kneeling position, and we're going to do some reaches with thoracic spines. We've done a lot of good upper body stuff. Right knee up, and right here we're going to work a hip hinge. So just push the hips back, come back up. Push the hips back. See how that chest and that spine angle is nice and straight? Don't have a lazy spine. 3. Last week I think we flexed the spine, but it was far from lazy. And 5. And then same thing other side. Left leg up. Pull through the crown of your head. Lengthen the spine. Push the hips back. 1, 2, 3. Definitely I get a little tugging on that high hamstring. So if you're dealing with a little bit extra tugging, a little extra tension, we're going to go after that high hamstring with pelvic position. Trying to get into posterior. You're working those alternating knee grabs from the unloaded laying down position. So just nice and easy. And if you don't have any of this tugging, oh my God, bless you. Keep going with it. Stay hydrated and avoid it at all costs. Okay, good. Let's go back to right knee up. Take a nice big breath. Hip hinge to the back. Now we're going to rotate to the midline and reach. So we're coming back. We're using that rotation and we're adding tension by adding the length of the arm. So just nice big reach. 2, 3. We're going for 5, 4. One more. And 5. I have often said that endurance athletes, it's probably most of you guys that are following along with me, we don't need more exercise. We need the right kind of work at the right time, at the right time of the season. So just nice and easy. We don't need to go 15 reps here. 3, 4, and 5. And you guys, that's Mobility Monday. Started out with some good foam rolling, worked a little bit through adductors. We're starting to talk about and really be aware of pelvis and what is the job and the role of each ilium, the right ilium and the left ilium. And it basically looks like this. As you take a step forward, your right hip needs to be able to go into a little bit of a drop. That's your right ilium right there. When it's free and your SI joint is moving. Same here on the left. Your hips need to go into internal rotation and your hips need to move this way, not this way. So we try to facilitate that for you, give you a bit easier motion through your pelvis, and then everything just gets a little bit easier. These obviously would be a loaded version of that same falling into posterior. Hope you guys have an amazing week. I will see you next Monday.